Now on CoastTV News.
More than just clouds, why an air quality alert is triggering concern.
Berry wins District 20 in a nail-biting special election. The Democrat promises visible and active leadership.
All recommendations reviewed. The Sussex County Land Group one step closer to final recommendations.
And on the latest on that active air quality alert through all of Delaware, what it means for you this evening and what the weekend is looking like coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Beachgoers out in Bethany despite an air quality alert. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome. Tonight we begin with Code Orange, that air quality here in the state of Delaware.
According to DENREC, wind has gradually pushed Canadian wildfire smoke to the state, leading to concerns for air quality. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe is live in Fenwick Island, and Kevin, air quality might be deceiving.
Maddie, although it looks just like a cloudy day as usual, according to DENREC, the air quality can be problematic to some. Margaret Castelli hit Bethany Beach Wednesday. She knows firsthand what Code Orange air alerts feel like.
Definitely very, very hazy during the daytime. Very difficult to see the sun. When you could see the sun, it was very orange. It was quite noticeable.
This was Milton in 2023 after wildfires caused bad air quality, which DENREC says is happening right now. DENREC says the current air quality is unhealthy for sensitive groups. According to DENREC, sensitive groups in Code Orange air quality include people with a heart or lung disease, older adults, children and teenagers, outdoor workers, and more.
Keep your windows closed. Don't go out as much as you need to. If you have to go to the grocery store, maybe do an Uber delivery or Instacart or something like that. But really be very careful about how you are handling the situation.
According to DENREC, air quality is expected to gradually improve, but sensitive groups should still be cautious as wildfire smoke lingers. If you are at risk of the current air quality in the state of Delaware, be sure you take precautions. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Fenwick Island, Coast TV News.
And we're taking a live look into Milford. You can see it's a hazy sky there too. And I don't know if any of you at home could smell it today. I could, walking around outside. Let's check in with our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobuono. Chris, what's the weather doing?
Well, good evening, Charlie and Maddie. We still have that air quality alert. That's up through about midnight tonight, and it's been a rather, very gloomy, kind of dreary day across the area. You can see those air quality alerts right now. The current air quality right now is moderate throughout Sussex County, and we have that unhealthy air quality up through Dover. But yeah, again, take it easy this evening, especially if you suffer from asthma, any kind of heart or lung issue, as we're going to be dealing with that unhealthy air, at least through the evening time frame. Now you can see that dense upper level wildfire smoke kind of pushing off towards the west as we go throughout the day. Tomorrow, we're going to have that consistent persistent east wind that we've had for days, and that's really going to continue through tomorrow and into Friday. Now we had some rain, some light rain earlier this afternoon. That is beginning to dissipate, and we're going to be rather damp this evening. Temperature's pretty uniform in the 70s, and we're going to fall into the eventually upper 60s through the overnight. We'll talk more about the rest of the week and that coastal storm, and then the weekend ahead in that full 7-day forecast. Maddie.
Thank you, Chris. In a 1% difference in votes, Democrat Alonna Berry won the race for District 20, beating her opponent, Republican Nikki Miller. Berry says she had a clear idea of what matters to those who call District 20 home and will bring that to her fellow lawmakers. Issues like roads and the environment. Berry tells Coast TV the legislature, which she will soon be a part of, needs to look at their policies for absences like Stell Parker Selby's, and Berry says she is excited to serve as representative.
My goal starting today is to be as visible as possible in Representative District 20, so that means attending community events, that means being out and about, hosting meet and greets and coffees with folks so that I can get to know them, they can get to know me, and we can get to work on the issues in this district.
Berry told Coast TV she'll be officially sworn in August 12th before the special legislative session that same day. And
this brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what is your biggest expectation for Alonna Berry?
Let's take a look at the results so far. 48% say deliver results, 34% say avoid party politics, 11% say stay transparent, and 7% say be accessible.
And it'll be interesting to see if these numbers change at all throughout the evening. You can go vote right now, or you can leave a comment at coasttv.com or use our mobile app.
In Sussex County, a group of 10 people have worked since late March to develop recommendations to County Council on how to handle growth. Now the group is down to its final steps, with formal recommendations to Council due less than a month away. Coast TV News' Brandon Ferguson in the newsroom. Brandon, the group reviewed half of the original recommendations.
Maddie, the group picked up where they left off, reviewing the last 9 of the 17 total drafted recommendations. And we're going to show you a few of those recommendations, starting with strategic density adjustments. Now that means changing zoning standards in growth areas so you can fit more development into smaller areas. Also preserving trees inside growth areas by protecting forest at a minimum of 30%. And for forests outside of growth zones, those are set to be protected by a minimum of 50%. And also focusing on subdivision design around conservation priorities, like with strategic lot placement around natural resources like forest, and overall adopting a master plan zoning ordinance for large developments so those developments can go through a phased building plan. Now this group is made up of 10 different members. Some of those members are from the Sussex Farm Bureau, an affordable housing advocate, a DelDOT representative, and the next group meeting is on August 21st, where they will review and finalize these draft recommendations before they go to County Council. Maddie and Charlie, back to you.
All right, Brandon, thank you. Plans to replenish the Indian River Inlet are expanding. About 5,000 feet of beach north of the inlet will get the 550,000 cubic yards of dredged sand. The north part of the inlet specifically has long had issues with erosion, including dune breaches last year. This comes after work this spring. The next phase of work starts in the fall.
5 soldiers were shot at an Army base in Fort Stewart, Georgia. The social media post for the U.S. Army base later said the shooter was no longer a threat and had been taken into custody. The post said 5 soldiers were shot, with the nature of their injuries still unclear. More than 10,000 people, including soldiers, families, armies, and employees, live on the post 40 miles southwest of Savannah. This summer's weather has brought catastrophic rain and flooding across the country, and these storms are only getting more frequent and more intense. CNN's Jen Sullivan tells us why we're seeing more rainfall and what homeowners can do to protect themselves.
Heavy rains turning this road into a river, stranding buses and emergency vehicles in several inches of water. This happened last month in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. This is the result of the Green Brook River overflowing. And these heavy rainfall events are becoming stronger and happening more frequently all over the country. A recent study from the nonprofit group Climate Central found hourly rainfall rates have grown heavier in nearly 90% of large U.S. cities since 1970.
That is the most terrifying type of damage. It's the one I fear the most.
Holden Lewis with the NerdWallet says if your home floods and you don't have flood insurance, you could be stuck paying out of pocket to fix the damage because standard home insurance does not cover flooding.
Even a minor flood can be very expensive.
Experts say these rain events can be worse in the summer, when the jet stream shifts further north and there's less of a temperature difference between the equator and the Earth's poles. These storms can become slower. When storms slow, rain falls faster than the ground can absorb it or infrastructure can drain it, which is how this happened in Chicago last month, where a stalled storm system dropped as much as 5 inches of rain in just 90 minutes.
So many houses are near little creeks, little canals that are placid 99.99% of the time. But in a really, really heavy rainstorm, they can flood, and they can flood really quickly.
Lewis recommends everyone should have flood insurance. According to NerdWallet, the average flood insurance cost in the U.S. is around $899 a year. But if you don't have it and your home floods, NerdWallet recommends people should look at FEMA grants, local government assistance, and nonprofit help. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Rescued, rehabilitated, and released. The journey of a threatened piping plover named Nomad.
And the rain has ended just in time for our big event at the Crooked Hammock. We're going to see temperatures falling into the lower 70s. It's going to be a damp night. We'll talk about some brighter times ahead for our Thursday coming up in the full forecast.
But first, Crooked Hammock, the center of a takeover. Our own chief meteorologist Paul Williams at the center of it, up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
For the people that follow this newscast, you might know our very own chief meteorologist Paul Williams is a prostate cancer survivor. And after battling the big C, he's found a new way to fight back.
Organizing an annual prostate walk event at Cape Henlopen State Park. This year's event, it's scheduled for September 13th.
And Paul, it's not just about walking. This year it's about testing and maybe even saving some lives.
Well, see, the thing about it, Maddie, is that when you take a look at this and this QR code, the mystery behind it is this: an opportunity to be screened for cancer, where a lot of men simply don't do it, or they wait to feel something, which is the wrong strategy. You got to be screened early. Take a look right now. We're at the Crooked Hammock with this takeover. We're actually all the proceeds right for tonight. 15% will go straight for the walk, so we can provide those free blood screenings for anybody that shows up for the walk on the 13th. But not only that, but we also have some items that are up for silent auction, which includes a 7-day holiday vacation in Ocean City. So all of that is part of the fun that we're having. We have other items up for sale. We're doing 50-50, and we're passing out material as it pertains to prostate cancer that kills 1 out of 8 men. It's a silent killer. It's one of the most curable cancers, but you gotta find out about it first. And that's what this QR code is about and the walk is about. I'm Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, live from Crooked Hammock. Back to you.
Paul, thank you. Day 3 of the White Marlin Open happening right now. $7.3 million on the line this year, Charlie.
And we're going to take a look at the leaderboard sponsored by Rudy Marine.
Blue Marlin still on top. The only thing on the scales now, a 929.5 Blue Marlin, 9 pounds, that is, from the Barbara B.
Now that tops the overall standings in this whole tournament with a $4.485 million payout if it can hold on.
If it can. In the tuna category, Mama C brought in a 95-pounder.
In second release, Hatters NC brought in a 55-pound fish, and a 52.5-pound tuna was brought in by the Bow Down.
And the Barbara B on the leaderboard again in the dolphin category with a 32.5-pound catch.
In second, Rochambeau with 27 pounds, and the Sweet Freedom with a 26.5-pound catch.
Now, actually, just minutes ago, a white marlin has hit the scales. So new, we don't even have it up for yet. It just happened. I'm looking here at 72 pounds, the billfisher out of Ocean City. So that is now taken.
That number's important because he's got to hit 70.
He's got to hit 70, and that is definitely beating that Barbara B Blue Marlin now that we have one white marlin on the scales. We'll get you all those details coming up at 6.
White Marlin Open leaderboard coverage is sponsored by RudyMarine.com, where family boating begins.
Well, we're taking a live look into an overcast Cambridge. We had some kind of nuisance shower activity roll through this afternoon. That has pretty much come to an end. We are at 75 degrees there. You can see temperatures are pretty uniform from the coast through the inland areas. We're at 74 Rehoboth, 75 Lewis, to 75 in Seaford. That persistent onshore flow, which we've had for the past few days, is going to continue. You can see gusts at the coast, 20 Indian River Inlet to 14-mile-an-hour gust in Rehoboth Beach. Now, we are going to be seeing decreasing daylight here as we push through August. Sunset tonight, 8:06, but you see in 3 weeks, we're going to be seeing those sunsets approaching 7:30 as we push on the summer season and make our way ever so closer to the fall season. Now, high risk of rip currents. If you're heading to the beach tomorrow, Lewis down through Fenwick Island, due in part to that onshore flow, and that high risk of rip currents is going to continue all the way through Ocean City to Assateague Island. We also have small craft advisories up through 8 o'clock Thursday, and then there's that beach hazard statement due in part to the rip current risk in Ocean City through Assateague Island. Now, that air quality alert continues through this evening and it expires at midnight tonight. You can see current air quality moderate throughout Sussex County, but then you can just go to the north. We're at that unhealthy for sensitive groups level, and you can see that continues right through the I-95 corridor up through Philly and South Jersey, all due in part to that dense wildfire smoke that's pushing over the peninsula. Now, that east wind is going to help push some of that wildfire smoke to our west. Now, current satellite and radar shows the rain winding down. Just nuisance variety was generally light, nothing all that heavy. It's going to be a damp evening. Now, we're keeping a close eye on the southeast coast here. Area of low pressure is going to be developing there over the next few days and then eventually push out to sea. Mostly cloudy overnight as we fall into the mid to upper 60s. Now, we're watching for that high risk of rip currents tomorrow, a brighter Thursday, and we're going to keep the sunshine and dry weather in play even through Friday. Tomorrow, we wake up to around 69 degrees, temperatures rising into the upper 80s. I think we squeeze out lower 80s tomorrow from the inland through the eastern shore, again with that east wind at the coast anywhere from 18 to 25 miles an hour, upper 70s. White Marlin Open continues looking pretty good tomorrow, 77. A lot of the impacts for this event are going to be offshore. Now, we could see a good shower chance on Friday, primarily southern portions of Delmarva, but the weekend trending drier. Futurecast shows the clear skies into our Thursday with that east wind. As we go into Friday, Friday's a rather tricky day. I think most of Delmarva sees sunshine, but the further south you go, the better chance you have of seeing clouds and some shower activity courtesy of that onshore flow. And the best chance to see that is across Accomack County. National Hurricane Center monitoring that area, 30% chance of development, but the good news is it passes to our southeast. High pressure remains in control. The only bad news is I think that high rip current risk will continue through the weekend. 68 with decreasing clouds overnight, a brighter tomorrow. 79 degrees there. We're at 78 for our Friday. Clouds mainly south of Delmarva. 80s for the weekend. The weekend primarily dry, but then it's the return of 90-degree temperatures through the early part of next week.
Thank you, Chris. An endangered bird back in the wild thanks to a rescue made by Delaware environmentalists. Here's the piping plover named Nomad. Denrick says he was found at Fowler Beach, unable to fly, likely hurt while escaping a predator, but he was treated and recovered. Biologists chose to release Nomad in a safer nesting site at Cape Henlopen State Park. Coming up, Paul Williams at the Crooked Hammock. We'll check back in with him on Coast TV News at 5.
We salute Albert J. Burke, a Milford native whose exceptional journey in the U.S. Army and the Delaware Army National Guard has earned him a well-deserved place in the Delaware Aviation Hall of Fame. From his courageous service during the Vietnam War to his decades of dedication to our nation, Albert's legacy shines as a beacon of honor and unwavering patriotism. His remarkable achievements, including numerous awards and qualifications, reflect his extraordinary contributions to our country.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
We talked about it earlier in the newscast. We're circling back now. Our very own chief meteorologist Paul Williams, a prostate cancer survivor, is hosting the second annual Prostate Walk event at Cape Henlopen State Park this year, September 13th. But today, Paul is trying to sign people up for the big event. Paul, fill us in on what you're doing.
Well, right now, we're not only just signing people up, but we're actually notifying, hey, this is actually the table of silent bits with something from first for a chiropractic, for as far as yoga is concerned, a max challenge for the fitness deal, and this is the big kahuna right here, a silent auction for a 7-day holiday getaway in Ocean City. This is all part of our effort to fund the walk. Now, the walk is going to be September the 13th at Cape Henlopen State Park. And at the walk this year, we're going to be providing blood tests that are going to be available for you to be screened. Why? Because this is a time period where a lot of folks are going to be losing some of their health care coverage. So we wanted to make up for that with this event, not only creating community and opportunity to come together and learn more about prostate cancer to prevent it, but to provide a service for some folks, quite frankly, that may not have it. Because to be honest, Charlie, had I not got screened when I did, I wouldn't be here right now doing this live shot with you right now. And that's the truth. I'm Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, live here from Crooked Hammock. Back to you guys.
All right, Paul, thank you. Let's take a live look into Cambridge. More on the forecast coming up.
Well, looking live into a murky Milford, we see those low clouds dealing with the haze from the wildfire smoke. Now, most of the steadiest rain has come to an end. We're at 73. Can't rule out a spotty shower through the evening. It's going to be a rather damp evening. We'll see late clearing as temperatures eventually fall into the mid to upper 60s through the overnight hours. Skeeter meter will remain at a moderate level from Thursday through the weekend trending drier. There is our umbrella winner, Tom O'Connor of Milton, Delaware. Congratulations there. And you get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalas, and Federico. Now, your 10-day forecast shows sunnier skies for our Thursday. Temperatures hovering right around the upper 70s to lower 80s through Saturday. The weekend looking primarily dry. Remember, a high risk of rip currents tomorrow along the beaches, and then we gradually warm things up back to the lower 90s early next week.
All right, Chris, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.